a parish meeting.
Yeah.
Because somebody really landed them.
Right. Okay. Laughing at Michael.
It's probably no different to a regular council meeting.
Definitely not, but not as dramatic. We don't quite.
Yeah. Maureen's dealing with a bereavement. A friend of ours, husband died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Years ago, and yeah, COVID actually. But he was a sick man. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome after your week. The way we need to make our Shabbat service distinguish the days from the week while we are still at home. So warm greetings to everyone to bring Shabbat in together. We are using Siddur Lev Chadash, page 75. It's in the chat, but I think Josie will keep adding it so people can access it. Let us begin before we light our candles. We're just singing Shalom Aleichem together on page 76.
Shalom Aleichem, Malaki Hasharet, Malaki Elyon. Melech Malaki Hamlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem b'shalom, Malaki Hashalom, Malaki
Oh, I hope you're beginning to welcome Shabbat, to change the mood, the pace, the beat of how you're sitting in your kitchen, your living room, perhaps you're cooking, perhaps you're sitting still, just as we as a community bring Shabbat in together. So a reflection by Marc Chagall, that clearly he wrote it in a very particular historical moment, but I find it speaks across the decades to us. We are not a people that dies. I know it's difficult to find the balm which would heal our body and our soul, but perhaps it will do us good if we kindle freely the lights of our own treasures and then sing freely in all the hues with which they were born. They will follow us in this world as a shadow that is no shadow at all. It is the Jew within us. It becomes abundantly clear to me that the freer we are, the more Jewish we are. And the more Jewish we are, the more human we become. So thinking what treasures you're lighting tonight, as we kindle freely the lights of our own treasures and then sing freely in all the hues they were born in. So may I invite us all to light candles together, wherever you are, light your candles going to let in some folk to come in and light candles with us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Bring in whatever you need, be it rest, be it recuperation, be it thinking of the week that's passed, be it letting go of the week that's passed, be it family members that you can't light candles with. Bring all that in as we go to Yedid Nefesh, which you can find on page 78.
Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, of Harachaman, Meshoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha, El Ritzonecha. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, of Harachaman, Meshoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha, El Ritzonecha. Yaretz Avdecha Kemo Ayal Yishtachave El Mul Hadarecha. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, of Harachaman, Meshoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha, El Ritzonecha.
Let's go to Lachadodi on page 91.
Lekadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lekadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lekadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat.
Shabbat Shalom. This would be the point in the service if we were in our building, which feels a long time ago, this memory, to stand up at the end of Lecha Dodi, to welcome Shabbat, perhaps for some of us, but for others, to welcome those who've come in to the sanctuary and really notice who's with us to be making Shabbat with. I guess that is one of the benefits of these services that we have, that we're able to see each other, welcome each other, all in your own homes. And for those watching from Facebook or YouTube, I've just been told Rabbi Charlie Baginski is watching and with us, welcoming Shabbat with us through Facebook. So Shabbat Shalom to all those coming in that way. Having welcomed Shabbat and each other, let's go to the Baruch Hu, page 92. Praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha avtam Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al kin Adonai Eloheinu b'shofinu, u'meinu nasiach b'chuketa, b'mizrach b'divrei toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. V'hem chayenu, le'orech yameinu, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. באהבתך אל תסור, הננו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto,
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לו תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Instead of the paragraph that urges us, emet ve'emunah kol zot, all this we hold to be true and sure, and it invites us to recall the Exodus from Egypt, to remember that sense of gratitude as Jews. I'd like to share some words by Rabbi Albert Friedlander, Zichrono Livracha. Gratitude and memory must be linked together. Forgetfulness is one of the great sins of our time. People block out remembrance of difficult times, of failures, of their own weakness. Then they do not remember the help they receive from others, and gratitude dies. So as we offer Micha Mocha, let's do it for the miracles, the help, the support we receive in our own lives, as well as that of our ancestors. נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, גאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. And as we go to Hashivenu, I feel the need for each of us to be kind to ourselves, to those that are in our lives, as we offer this evening prayer for peace, but a kind of shalom bayit, as I remind us, a prayer where we hope for a sukkhat shalom, a shelter of peace over all of us, a life easier and kinder for us all.
Shalom,
Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Adonai zefatai tiftach u'v'yahid teilatecha. Adonai zefatai tiftach u'v'yahid teilatecha.
Page 97 for our Shabbat Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei v'Nehem, Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hosea Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim atah Rav LaHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach u'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh u'Morid HaTal. Machalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim v'Rofeh Cholim, Umati Asurim, Umakayem Emunato Lishnei Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gvorot, Umi Domelach, Melech Meimit Umachaye Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'ema Nata Lahachayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Machaye HaMeitim. You are holy, awesome is your name. We have no God but you. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat v'dorata berit olam Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz u'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat l'doratam berit olam.
Page 100. Baruch atah Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu bi'amcha Yisrael. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel, and in your love accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otacha levadacha b'yirah na'avod. As we offer modim, we offer our own gratitude and appreciation. Do share in the chat to allow us to feel like we are together. Modim anachnu lach she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Sur hayenu magen yishenu. Ata hu lador vador. Nodeh lecha nsaper tehilatecha. Al hayenu hamsurim biyadecha. V'al nishmotenu hapakodot lach. V'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu. V'al niflotecha v'tovotecha shebachol eit erev v'voker v'tzoharayim. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'er lehodot.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. 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 Ki ata melech harom v'kol hashalom. Ki ata melech harom v'kol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. Just as we take a moment for silent prayer, and I think we manage silent prayer better on a Friday night than a Shabbat morning, I want to give you that opportunity. Just a thought, a reflection for us. This week's parasha, I often say Torah is extraordinary, but this week is a pretty full-on portion that houses the 10 Commandments, and the name of one of the most precious, most important portions in Torah is given over to a non-Israelite, the father-in-law of Moses, Yitro, or as we might say, Jethro. And as well as Yitro being perhaps the first person to have been moved by, inspired by, converted to the Israelite faith and his appreciation of God and all that has happened, Yitro also does this extraordinary thing where he offers unsolicited advice to Moses about the congregation that Moses is leading. And I was really thinking this week about both the challenges that COVID and the pandemic has brought, and also the benefits that we have reaped by our amplified, larger services, greater take-up, surely a greater appreciation of being part of a congregation and the friendship and the companionship that goes with that. So one of the things that Yitro says most famously, which I certainly have etched is lo tov hadavar asher ata oseh. He says, the thing you are doing is not good. He criticizes Moses and the way that Moses is running his congregation, assuming that he needs to do everything for himself. And I was thinking as the service began tonight, and as all our services begin, we have a few people and it grows and grows and grows. And now there are 42 households together welcoming Shabbat. And I'm looking at each page, realizing how many of you are adding to parts of our congregational life, maybe things that you never thought you'd be interested in before. Our morning meditation shacharit service, the extraordinary work that those who are holding up and encouraging us with food bank collections, deliveries, and reminding us to be doing that. Those who have flagged up the other charities that we are supporting, Jewish Women's Aid, New Israel Fund, our thespians, players who are doing a reprise of their work together for Purim at the end of this month. Those of you who are helping with our technology and our communications, with our weekly emails, our website, with our safeguarding and our teaching. I really, every page, I'm seeing so many of you adding and contributing to synagogue life. And I think Yitro hadn't lived through this kind of period to have seen how many people want to be involved. And my job, I realized, like Moses, is to ensure that that happens. So just a reflection really for you as we go into this moment of silent prayer and just with ourselves is, what can you give to the congregation that maybe you are and that we're immensely grateful for? What do you need from the congregation that you haven't asked for? So just thinking about how our synagogue plays a part in your life as we pause for some silent prayer.
Say shalom b'mrama, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Say shalom b'mrama, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol
Friends, let's go to Aleinu, page 520.
עלינו לשבח את האדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגמור עלינו להנהיג מלכותו. גמור עלינו להנהיג מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר דורס, מושב ויקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינה גוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אמת מלכנו, אפס סגולתו, הכתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, ואשר עודם כלבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת.
I'm just getting up our Yahrzeit list for this Shabbat. I want to share in our prayer book on page 522 a reflection taken from George Eliot's Middlemarch. The growing good of the world is partly dependent on unhistoric acts, and that things are not so ill with you and me as they might have been is half owing to the number who lived faithfully a hidden life and rest in unvisited tombs. Even when they are gone, the departed are with us. They inspire us to live as in their higher moments they themselves sought to live. We remember them now. They remain in our hearts. They are a continual blessing. This Shabbat, we think particularly of Jeannie and Samuel Fredman, parents of Graham Fredman, of Ralph Harris, brother of Ruth Hoffman, of Joseph J., father of Barry J., of Anita Lewis, wife of John Lewis, of Jean Papworth, mother of Sarah Dibb, of Philip Westbury, husband of Sadie Westbury. And we continue to be alongside the families, the Narchin families and the Hutra families as they continue to mourn Nori and Mary, and for the families to come each week to be able to say Kaddish within the congregation and remember their loved ones. Zichrono Livracha. Let them all their memories be for a blessing. And may those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah V'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Magala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mavorach leolam omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithada v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'sherata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da amiram b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Ose shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'yal kol b'nei adam. V'imru amen. We are going to close our service, as we always do on a Friday night, with Yevarechecha, with Dean singing to us the melody he created for the priestly blessing often given on a Friday night for his own son, Amon's bar mitzvah moment. So if I guide you, if you'd like to follow Yevarechecha, page 563. Just a reminder to everyone that tomorrow, Shabbat B'Yachad, we welcome 2 liberal communities who are joining us, Stevenage and 3 counties. And we also are welcoming New Israel Fund, the New Israel Fund charity, who will be talking to us about Team of Equals, the charity that we chose to support at High Holy Days.
Yesimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'Ki-Menashe Elohim K'Sara Rivka Rachel V'Leah Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha tichunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha V'yasem lecha shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Grab your, whatever you're making Kiddush over. I don't know. Brian, you're in my line of vision. What are you making Kiddush over tonight? Where's Brian? Has he unmuted himself? Brian, have you got red wine? What are you having tonight?
You switch. It's my usual Bushmills, which normally David Lewis supplies me with.
Switch energy broadband mobiles.
I'm just going to mute you again. Okay. Yes.
This morning, it's a perfect way to.
So whoever's unmuted themselves, I've encouraged you all to unmute, but just in case it makes us go, yeah, echo. I don't know. But over to you, Dean, to lead Kiddush, and we'll let our tech team mute us again if we need to.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'chata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim, everyone. And I don't know who's got beautiful challah this week. Alex Kinchin-Smith, have you baked this week?
So the dough is still rising, Rebecca. It's not looking good this week.
Well, that's because Jacob
We let Jacob make it, and it's not so good.
Well, that's the way you appreciate the good weeks, right?
Wow.
Let's see.
Graham, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
where did you
bought
get that one from, Graham? That's beauty.
Nice.
I
Brad.
bought it all by myself.
I know, that's from round the corner, that one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a very distinctive plat, that bakery.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And Anne and Andrew's family have got. Who else have got? Peggy and Alison, Vika.
Peggy and Alison.
Nice. Who else did I see? Did I see the Hutters have got one? Josie, great. Yes, I like what you're doing with it, Paul. So let's all of us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Amen.
Is that bagels? Margot and Aaron, have you got bagels there?
Bagels.
Or is that challah?
Mini challah.
Mini challah. Very
Mini roll.
mini challah.
Good.
Our minis come from Sainsbury's in a pack of 4, very handy
Oh.
for freezing. I usually buy 5 or 6 packs.
Shall we all say goodbye to our social media?
Sure. Shabbat Shalom, all of you on Facebook and YouTube. Sorry we couldn't see what you're having.
Twitter.
And
Bye.
We've had